On today's show, Nico Harrison should not be allowed to fix this whole thing with the Dallas Mavericks. That's what I think. But does ownership think that? Talk about that and more in today's Locked On Mavs.
This is Cooper Flagg, and you're listening to Locked On Mavs.
Dog, on 5. Explain yourself.
All these changes, I still got my dog Dwight Powell.
Survived.
Locked On Mavs.
Great, yo.
Your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave.
Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like back.
And welcome. You are Locked On to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, covering the Mavs for 10 years. Thanks for making Locked On Mavs your first listen, being an everydayer. Thanks for making Locked On Sports Podcast Network the #1 sports podcast network out there. We made it. Appreciate you for hanging out with us for this long. We've been doing this show for 9 years. This is our 9th year we've been doing this show. Absolutely insane. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use that code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Joining me, as always, my co-host, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years, right alongside me, the Fire Fiend, the One More Thing King. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
Oh, baby. It's Monday morning for a lot of you guys. It's Sunday night. And it's a good day to fire Nico Harrison. It's a good day. It's a good day to do it. Patrick, we know you listen to the show. Or we don't know if you're an everydayer, but we know you've listened to the show. You're friend of the show. Just do it. This is the correct next step. Let's do this, Patrick.
And so here's the thing. We'll talk about a couple. I think we have some trades that we think the Mavericks could make to try and get some of this fixed. But we also have trades that the Mavs should not do. Like that they should absolutely not do.
All right, sorry. Yeah, I need to calm down and get into
And then
professional mode.
We've got there's a thing that the Mavericks absolutely cannot do. And then we'll talk about ownership. But let's start here. The Dallas Mavericks are getting desperate. They should be. This is a desperate time, and desperate measures call for it. The Dallas Mavericks cannot make a win now trade right now. And I think that if Nico Harrison was going to make any kind of move, it would be a win now move because he set up this whole thing. Obviously, going all the way back to the Luka trade, he said it was a win now trade. He thought the Mavericks got better after the Luka trade. He thought they were better the day after the Luka trade.
Remember when he said, "Well, we didn't win the finals."
That he's right about that though. They did not. I was there. I went to all those games. They did not win the finals. But guess what? They're not going to win the finals now either. 14% of the teams that start 3-7 end up making the playoffs in general, and most of them are East teams. It was only like 8 teams from the West since 2000 have ever started 3-7 and actually made the playoffs. It's not going to happen for the Mavericks. It may already be too deep of a hole. Now, here's
Maybe
the thing.
He was talking about the cup.
Here's the thing about it. What are you wearing? The Mavs cannot make a win now trade to try and fix this season. And I think that's what Nico Harrison would do. This mess has all been created because of that move and because of some of the moves subsequently after that. Mark Stein has reported that league sources tell the Stein line that the rising and virtually ceaseless negativity that surrounds the franchise is indeed wearing on and troubling ownership. This has been a question I've had throughout this whole thing. Does ownership care? Do they care about all the negativity, or are they just going to ride it out? Because ownership and Patrick Dumont is the only other person that signed off on the Luka trade. It doesn't sound like Jason Kidd signed off on it. It doesn't sound like anybody else in the front office had any say to do with it necessarily. And it was Nico's and Dumont's are the only ones confirmed to have their names on this. And now here we are. Mavs 3-7, absolutely brutal, 30th in offensive rating, haven't beat a team with a winning record yet, and they've got to dig themselves out of this as the team. But now will Nico Harrison be the one at the helm to try and help them dig out of this and try and construct something to help them get out of it? And I say it absolutely cannot happen because I just do not think he has the best interest of the Mavericks and probably Cooper Flagg long-term in mind, considering all this with his 3-year plan.
Yeah, no, you can't let the person try to fix the mistakes that he made and the mess that he made. This isn't trying to teach a toddler lessons. What I'm doing right now with my son and my daughter of hey, you kind of made that mess on the floor. You got to clean it up. That's this isn't parenting. This is running an NBA franchise, a sports franchise. And he created the mess. He made all of it. He's burned the bridges with relationships. It's not just make the mess with the roster, but there's a wake of bodies behind him, also behind the scenes, and like people, like things that people know and things that people don't know. That it's like you can't allow that person to try to fix all of this. So whatever direction that you want to go as a franchise, whether it's complete rebuild, whether it's, hey, we got to make some moves to kind of reshape the roster and all that, you don't let him make that decision.
No, you can't. And I think it has to do more. I think it has to do just as much on the basketball court as off the basketball court too. We've seen, you talk about the slew of bodies that have happened. Like, this franchise is unrecognizable from when you and I first started covering the team, or even like 2 or 3 years ago when all these moves started being made, or when, 4 or 5 years ago when Nico Harrison took over. I mean, it just looks absolutely completely different. Dirk has nothing to do with the franchise. And some of that is because his Amazon job, but then also some of it is because of, like, all of his friends are gone. All the people that
I don't want to hear anything about the Amazon. Yeah. Dirk's distance from the Mavs started way before Amazon even started. I mean, not the company.
The one thing I would say about the Amazon thing is he's like, well, I can't say we anymore, and that's because, like, he's not part of the team and that all that. Kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was because of the Amazon thing. I don't think he was throwing a slight at the Mavericks saying that, and like a bunch of people brought that up and sent it to me.
No.
And I was like, I don't think that's what that is. But Nico Harrison cannot be making these decisions, right? Like, he's gonna make a win now trade. His job is on the line. This 3-year plan, this 3-year window or whatever, and the Mavs are sitting right now. And he told you in that press conference, when you asked him, why shouldn't you be fired? He said, check back with me in April because we're going to be competing for a championship. This team, unless they make drastic moves, is not going to be doing that.
Yeah, man, there's so many directions to go with it. Because you're right at this point now to where the seasons obviously hasn't went anywhere what you thought it would go. But you've given up some future assets, yes. And which we could talk about that in another sense. I was thinking about that today. Like, hey, you gave up all those picks because you had a win now player like Luka, and then you traded Luka, and now starting not this coming up draft, but the draft after, you don't have control of your picks for the next 3 or 4 years. So that was a choice. Wait, 5 minute
5
break?
years. It's 5 years.
So, but I say that while also saying you do have some young pieces and some valuable like pieces too, to where like one of the things you sent me before, like, all right, what's some things that Nico could bring to Dumont right now that you just absolutely can't do? Like, if he's not willing to fire him, which you should, Patrick. What are some things, like, if Nico comes to Patrick and says, hey, something to do with Cooper Flagg, done. He can't do anything with Cooper Flagg right now. You can't touch the first round pick for next year.
The 2026 one, cannot touch it.
Yeah, so like there are a few things right there that Nico could still dig the hole even deeper of like some of the few really valuable assets that you have, that it's not like you don't have Cooper and you don't have your pick next year. Then that is like, hey, what are we even doing here type of thing. So that's why it's like you're kind of teetering on this moment right now that you need to decide now. Like, you need to remove him from this equation of decision making for the Mavs and let whoever the new person is, whether it's Riccardi or someone else that you bring in, let them decide, hey, what direction we're going to go. We're going to lean towards the young path and sell off some of the pieces, or, hey, we're going to keep the young pieces, but kind of just like reshuffle the deck with a few moves here and there. You got to let someone else decide that. And you can't, not only can you not let him do anything else with like Cooper right now in the future or the first round pick next year, you can't let him go out to try to combine some salaries on the team to bring back a bigger salary that sucks. Like, we can't do multiple players for Joel Embiid and be like, dude, I like 2 bigs. AD wants a big. We're going to put Embiid and AD together, because it feels like a lot of these moves that he's tried to build this team. It's like, all right, I don't think you left, 2015. You're building a team that was, 10 years ago at that point. But That's the other thing you can't let him do right now. You can't let him go out and, combine salaries for a Paul George or a Zach LaVine or a Rudy Gobert or a Emmanuel Quickly. That's the type of stuff, because then you're digging your hole even deeper to where you have AD, you have Kyrie, you have Quickly you're stacking up the salaries at that point. And that's what you can't let him do right now.
There has to be a path to get out of this. Coming up, let's talk about the other things that he absolutely cannot do. There are things that are completely off the table that you cannot let Nico Harrison do if the Mavs are going to not move on from him in this moment. We'll talk about that and some trades coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by Robinhood. Your ambition just met its match. With Robinhood, you play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Locking in on every opening, beating your PR, beating it again. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control of your money. Trade stocks and ETFs, options and futures and crypto, all in one platform. You can now build and execute your own trades from a desktop with Robinhood's Legends Advanced tools, or take advantage of the new Robinhood strategies with a tailored portfolio managed by a team of experts. I love that. You expect more from yourself, expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, it's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Also brought to your friends over at Game Time. It's like fall going into winter. There's all kinds of stuff going on all over the place. Obviously, you got NBA games. And if the state of the Mavericks are any indication, the tickets prices will be going down. I've had several season ticket holders come to me and say, I'm losing money on some of these games now, where I used to be making money on some of these games. That's where Game Time comes in, because the app gives fans the advantage. It's your ultimate life hack for scoring amazing NBA tickets fast, easy, and stress-free. Go check it out. I love using Game Time. I've used it for a bunch of Wings tickets. I've used it for comedy, concerts, theater, but also NBA tickets you can use as well. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use this code, Locked On NBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. That's code LOCKEDON NBA for $20 off. Terms apply. Swipe, tap, ticket. Go.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Explain yourself.
Sorry.
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad, listening every day. We appreciate you for sticking around, hanging out with us. We have a text line, 214-643-8637. Subscribe to that text line. It's the best way to support the show and get all the latest news and updates. I send every single rumor we ever see. I send it on the text line first, before Twitter, before this show, before anything else. We send it there. So subscribe to that. Link in the description or the QR code as well to get access to that. All right, Isaac.
Something else about the Stein report that made me laugh is, so the Stein report comes out tonight on Sunday night. The Mavs have a game Monday night in Dallas against the Bucks. It's like, I mean, that report is like throwing, like if you like when you watch the movie Jaws and they're trying to catch the shark. And they're just throwing, they're throwing the meat and the blood and everything
Chum in the water.
out in the water. That was what the Stein report is, because I'm already looking forward to being in the Reno Monday night. But I'm also like, just like, what's the atmosphere going to be like?
Yeah.
I think the Fire Nico chants are going to be back and loud. That Stein report, I mean, you're basically saying like, hey, the negativity and stuff is working. So it's really weighing down on the ownership, seeing the fan base. I'm like, oh my gosh, right before the home game on Monday, this just took it to a whole different level of how loud these chants are going to be.
It's an incredible point, because it's very true, because my next point in this show is going to be ownership is hearing the anger. This was one of my questions. It's like, do they care? How attached are they to this? How close are they listening? We know that they listen to shows like this and others, like, and they're paying attention to things like that. They've been in and around. And so I'm sure they have people in the organization that are hearing things as well. Stein mentioned in that nobody in the Mavs organization is like happy about this whole situation in this season too. That it can't be like a fun place to work or to like try to defend or post social media clips, or like anything related to the organization right now, or make podcasts. They keep making new podcasts. They put our friend Dana out there with a new show, and I'm like, how many times are they gonna make these guys talk about the Mavericks team this season, like with new shows? I felt bad for them. I'm not gonna lie.
And it's not like I love the content. I mean, Austin's doing a new show. Dana, gosh, I mean, there's a bunch of new shows and stuff there,
Skin
but like, and it's all fun and it's good stuff. But like, can we give them a good situation to talk about?
Give them a chance. Stein makes that report, and the Mavs have home for the Bucks on Monday, home for the Suns, who are 5-5, are not like, not amazing, but not terrible.
Jalen Green just went out again, but
home for the Clippers on Friday. And the Clippers have not been good,
no.
But it's also a team the Mavs could struggle against for sure. Home for the Blazers on Sunday, and the Blazers have been good. Like, this 4-game homestand could get insane.
Yeah, I said on
fan-wise.
Friday night show. Was it Friday night show? Yes, Friday night show. I said Nico's going to be fired within 2 weeks. I said he will not be employed by the Mavs in the next 2 Fridays. I wanted to say by next Friday, which would be the Clippers
by this Clippers game.
But I'll stay to 2 weeks. Also, I know we just kind of went rogue and just like leaned into full fire Nico when you were gone.
I'm gone for 1 game. I'm gone for 1 game, and you call for the firing of the GM. You know what? I was totally fine with it.
I literally texted you and I was like, just a heads up.
Hey, just FYI.
I just kind of just went for it. I'm like, I don't care anymore.
It was like, yeah, I went on vacation for a day, or I went out for the night. You were babysitting, and you're like, hey, just letting you know, like, we ate all the pizza, and we finished all the ice cream in the freezer, and we had all the candy, the cabinets too.
I told Slightly right before, and then we just started the whole show with the cold open of Nico Harrison should be fired right now, and Slightly's like, well, just got to it. All right.
But that's the situation we're in. Honestly, like it has come to this, and like we're talking about.
We've never done that before, though.
We've never done that.
I want to, and I tweeted that
I did it for Jason Kidd right before the Mavs went to the finals, and I think that's the only time we've called for.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I have never done that before. I forgot you did that. Because, and I've seen some people tweet at, and it's like, hey, welcome to the party, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's a little bit different whenever like there's a professional angle of this too. It's a unique part about a show like this of like, hey, you're credentialed. You have these relationships within the organization and sources or doing stories and all this different stuff to where, yeah. And it's like, at this point, I don't care about, like, he's got to be gone. Like you got to make the move for
it's the best choice for the franchise. And our thought the whole time, ever since the Luka trade, which we thought was terrible, said it was the worst trade in NBA history, worst trade in sports history. Like we went all the way, all 9 yards on that. There's many documented examples of that. The thing about it is it was his plan. And like, all right, well now you got to play it out. Like now you got to play it out with his plan, right? Like we could have said he should have been fired that day. But you couldn't do that because, all right, it's his plan. You got to play it out. You got to see what happens. And now we've played it out for 10% of this season. And, like, that's enough. And it's enough to me because you see how toxic it's going to get through this next week with these 4 home games, I bet. Because they're probably not – well, they may be favored in the Suns game maybe. Or they're not going to be favored in any of them. Unless Anthony Davis comes back and that changes betting lines. But they're not going to be favored for the most part. Fans are going to be frustrated. Stein's already had the report that, it's rising and virtually ceaseless negativity that surrounds the franchise is wearing on and troubling ownership. So they're hearing your frustrations, you listening, your frustrations, they're hearing it. And they're going to hear it more. And it's not going to stop. And the fans, honestly, need a win. Like, the fans need a win and to be able to move on from this because they're not going to be able to move on until Nico is gone. He has become, for better in some ways, worse for him, the poster child of this whole thing. And it's become like Fire Nico has become the slogan for this whole frustration about the franchise and this whole movement and everything. Fire Nico has become that thing. And it doesn't go away if he gets fired, but you can move on, and you're not tied to so beholden to this 3-year plan. We got to win now with Kyrie, who's injured already, with Anthony Davis, who gets injured a lot, with a young Cooper Flagg. Like there's just this whole with these bigs, no guards. Like you're so stuck to this plan that is obviously not working right now. It doesn't seem like Jason Kidd has the plan to get it to get the ship righted with this either. He's tried everything. so he's tried everything so far, and it's just not working. And the fans need to be able to move on in that way. And I think this might be the only way to do it.
Yeah, and I get the notion of like, hey, okay, you fire Nico, then what? Still the same players and all this stuff. It is more of what you just said of like you need to turn the page to what this next chapter is for the Mavs.
You're in it,
and you can't. And that doesn't mean, hey, you got to fully like trade every single player on the team and all this stuff. I'm just saying you got to collectively turn the page now. And you whatever the next best steps are for the Mavs, he can't be in charge of those. And I don't think that what he thinks the next best steps are is what should be happening for the Mavs. And that's, you got to start getting your fans back at this point. Cause it's like the equation. I mean, you could go through all the different equations of like, all right, well, if you're going to be bad, I mean, if you're going to be like, if you're a good team, but like you've lost some of your fans and like all this stuff, then you can like live with that. Now all of it's there. Like you've burned bridges with Dirk and all the stuff. You trade away this player. You're not winning. The fans are not coming back. You're losing fans at this point.
Yes.
I compared it the other day. I just got a text while we were recording this from Kevin saying, hey, your nuclear fallout analogy was just spot on. Because it is. It's like kind of this like nuclear wasteland fallout zone of what?
He can't be allowed to build a ballroom.
All right, that was pretty good. God, that just added like 300 comments to YouTube. Just go to ad break. Because now I want to say like all these different things. Go to ad break. Let me take a Tylenol real quick.
Coming up, what trades could the Mavs actually do? After we just said that he can't be allowed to make that trade, what trades could they do? Let's talk about that and more coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook. All kinds of great ways to get in on the NBA action. If you're somebody that maybe like ownership that wants legalized gambling in Texas, FanDuel could be the thing for you. Even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride out the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything and who will score from the next fourth quarter comeback. You can go check it out all over on FanDuel. I talked about the Mavs being favored potentially in any of these games. Mavs 2-point underdog against the Bucks on Monday. That one's interesting. That's not as high as I thought it was going to be. 2-point underdog. So if you feel real confident the Mavs are not gonna win this game, and you're a new customer, put down $5. You can get $300 in bonus bets if you're a new customer, and that first $5 bet wins. Head to FanDuel.com, sign up, play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Please gamble responsibly.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
No more White House jokes, Johnny Bravo.
I go away for one day. All right, Isaac. Let's talk about trades that the Mavs actually could do, because here are things the Mavs absolutely cannot do in trades. Ready? These are my non-negotiable. You cannot. If you promote any of these in a trade, I'm saying no. Can't have anything to do with Cooper Flagg. Nothing.
Yep.
Nothing at all. Max Christie off the table for me.
Whoa. I mean, I think it depends on a player.
Not trading Max Christie. I mean, maybe there are a few, but they would have to be.
You leave for one day, Max Christie is untouchable.
Untouchable to me. I mean, you want to keep young talent. Like we're starting this new.
I like Max. Yes.
I'm not touching PJ Washington.
Yes. No.
That's the soul. That's the soul of my team right now. I'm not touching it right now. It's the same as Dorian to me.
He's like the same boat as like Kyrie for me. Like.
Yeah. Right. You probably can't touch Kyrie right now.
No.
Yeah.
God, no.
Lively ?
Wait, are we really going to go down the whole roster right now?
Nope. This is my last one.
Oh, Yeah, I don't know. I've kind of just taken the coward's way out with the Lively takes. I don't know what to say or do right now with Lively.
Can't touch 2026 first round pick, the one for this season.
Nope.
Can't touch it at all.
Nope.
Can't touch 2031. Can't touch 2032 first round picks.
Don't mess with any of the picks right now.
Don't mess any those in those picks. Cooper Flagg will be in like his 5th, 6th season in the NBA, and you're gonna need those to actually make win now moves. Hopefully at that point.
Yep.
So you can't touch those. The Mavs own their pick this year, like you said. 2027, it's only top 2 protected to Charlotte in the PJ Washington trade. That one seems not likely. Pick swap in 2028 to OKC. Yikes. Their pick goes to either Houston or Brooklyn. Doesn't matter in 2028 or 2029. The Mavs do have the Lakers 2029 first round pick, which okay, we'll see. And then 2030, it's a San Antonio Spurs pick swap, which yikes.
Okay.
And then they finally own it. So it's 4 years where they don't own their pick.
Yeah.
They have a pick in 2030 and 2028, but they do not own it, or they did not control it. So all right, give me some trades. I had a hard time coming up with some. I'm still looking at like the Gafford for Kobe White one is still like on the table. He has not really played for them.
Yeah.
I wrote they could use a backup big.
If you're like, hey, what's one team that you would call nonstop right now for a combination of a bunch of different things? It'd be Chicago. They're playing really, really good basketball. Trey Jones is playing really good off the bench for him. Behind Giddey. Giddey's just going well after the crossover. I don't know. It's one of the worst ankle breakers.
But he's played really well.
Yeah, really, really good. Averaging over 17 a game. The Bulls are a team that I would call nonstop because you got Kobe White that hasn't even played yet. You have Io. There's different pieces there. If I'm just throwing out some like names that like an Alvarado.
And you have irrational confidence if you're the Chicago Bulls right now.
Yeah. I love Io, by the way. I like him coming out of Syracuse. Alvarado, TJ McConnell, these are like cheaper options. You're just trying to get a guy that can go out there and handle the ball. If we just want to focus on Klay Thompson for a second.
Yeah.
Of like, hey, if Klay wants to go somewhere else, if he's on the trade block, if you believe those rumors and all this stuff. Here's a couple ones out there that some of you probably just won't love. Something around Klay Thompson for Malik Monk. Sacramento tried to trade Malik Monk. They tried to give him away this summer. It felt like, and
to make room for Westbrook.
It's just super weird. Is Klay excited to go back to California at that point to get closer to water? I don't know. It's still Sacramento. That would still suck.
So you only get a river in Sacramento. You get a river that goes out to the ocean.
Closer.
It is closer, but you don't get to.
I think you would take that distance than just Lake Ray Hubbard. Boston's in the second apron, so it's super tough.
Yeah.
But they have Pritchard that you could try to go after if you want. Gafford would be amazing for them. If there was a way, they have Simons on this big expiring contract. If there was a way somehow you could do a combination of some guys for Simons, you get Gafford up in Boston to where they have him under contract for next year when Tatum and those guys are back. Simon's coming to Dallas on like a 1-year type of thing would be, I don't know, better than what they have right now at point guard.
Something.
I joked the other day about KCP, but would you do Klay and Hardy for KCP?
No.
Okay.
I don't think that makes you better at all. Or, is it better money wise? I don't know his contract off the top of my head.
I think he's got one more year, but you're getting out of the Hardy contract, and I think KCP is probably a better defender than Klay. But I
He's
get
got
it.
A
like
player option for next season, $21.6 million. So
he's probably gonna pick that up.
I was saying that's like $3.5 million more than Klay's is next year.
Yeah.
I have a random one with Klay.
Okay.
This is solely for money, but kind of on court. Bogdan Bogdanović is not playing for the Clippers. He's like on and off. It's like this really weird situation.
Is he washed? Like I'm kind of.
Hey, could be. He could be washed completely. Is Klay maybe washed?
Whoa! Don't say that.
Klay let go of a corner three like as he was loading up the other day. And I don't know what to do with that.
If you can't get an open shot, then you're just trying to fire it up as soon as you get it. All right.
Do we still can't leave him open?
No.
But Bogdanovich is $16 million this year. Then a team option next year. Klay 16.6 this year, 17.4 the year after that. And
Klay would love to go to LA.
Klay go to LA, Clippers. You could convince them that, like, all right, that maybe makes you a little bit better. They're terrible defensively. They're like 29th in defense right now. And gets another like leader on the court. They kind of need somebody else that knows what they're doing, even though they have all these all these vets. But maybe that's something that Ty Lue would go for.
Klay would be one of the youngest players on the team.
And then you clear up money, and that's just to clear up money. Maybe you get a little bit more on-court creation.
Yeah, I mean, Bogdan's like, seriously, you had Luka all those years. I couldn't play with my buddy.
Finally got traded to Dallas, and he's not there.
I mean, Klay for Herter. Like, these are the type of trades. Like, you're not getting a ton for Klay. If not, like, I still think someone would trade for Klay, but depending on who you talk to, somebody's like, oh, you got to attach something to Klay to get something.
Right.
Like, I got two more, and these are if Nico's calling the shots. Does Nico try to get Kuzma again? I think Kuzma is like
Bucks
20.
may have to attach something to Kuzma to get off of him.
I know he's at like 21 or 22.
He makes 22.4 this year, 20 next year, and then it's done after that, which is like actually not as bad as I thought.
So it's like Klay and something for Kuzma. Does Nico go back for seconds? Shout out to if Nico got his way with that and Kuzma didn't shoot that down, we'd have Kuzma instead of PJ right now.
Yikes.
And then
or Gafford. You wouldn't have Gafford either. It was Kuzma or PJ and Gafford.
Yeah. Here's the move that I could see Nico doing like right now.
All right, let's go.
It's Klay and Hardy for Dillon Brooks. Defense wins championships. You know, it's the tenacity of Dillon Brooks. It's, hey, we need a jolt. We need somebody that just is crazy and all the stuff.
Can we put Dillon Brooks and Naji on the court at the same time?
Klay goes to Phoenix, which he probably isn't. He doesn't care to, you know, yeah, there's worse places to play.
Closer to water.
They need water in Arizona.
He's closer.
Yeah. So I know he just kind of got there in that Durant trade, but yeah. I don't even want to touch Anthony Davis stuff right now. So
it's so hard. We probably will at some point because that's the obvious.
Yeah. I mean, I have a couple things like if they went that route, I just don't think Nico's not going to trade Anthony Davis. So when Nico is fired, whoever that next person that's in charge, that's when we'll have to start to get to figure out like what direction they're going to take. And if they do try to go the younger route, I do think that there is a path for Dallas that isn't a complete teardown. We're going to suck forever in the first like 3 or 4 years of Cooper's career. And it's not, hey, we're mortgaging the future to still try to win now. Yeah. I think there's a happy medium of, hey, you keep Kyrie, you keep PJ Washington, you have Cooper, you have this, and then you entertain some of the other vets. AD's just that's the biggest part of that, of what do you do with Anthony Davis. So, and if AD is if they ever do try to figure something else out with that, Chicago's the first team I'm looking at where he's from.
I don't want to scare anybody. That contract is insane. 54 this year, 58 the year after that, 62.7 player option. What do you think about that one? You think there's a chance?
I would say he's probably going to pick it up.
You think so?
Rich might advise him to pick that one up.
62.7 million in 2027-28 in Flagg's third year. There you go. That's some thoughts. That's some trades. We'll do so many more throughout the next, the coming days and all that. We'll have a post-game show after the Bucks game. We'll see what happens this week, guys.
I just want to say
every single part of it. Do you want?
I just want to say this.
No,
one more thing.
Yes, right.
I know a lot of you guys, if you're right here in the pod, then you know that you're already subscribed and you listen to us a lot. A lot of you listen to us every single day for many years. When that Nico Harrison gets let go, news hits, you're going to get an emergency pod like you've never seen before. All right. that Locked On Mavs emergency pod is going to hit like a drug that you've never experienced. So just leaving that there.
We might have to let it ride.
Oh, buddy. Buddy, will we let it ride?
Thanks for hanging out with us here on Locked On Mavs. We'll be back at the post game tomorrow. Check the links in the description for different ways to follow the show. Thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs.
Peace out.
Boom. Go listen to Josh Lloyd.